What's happening, ISA Online subscribers? I've got a little bonus material today. I'm going to show you a video of my good friend Chris Barnard sailing Downwind and just kind of go through some of the debrief of it. I know there's been lots of questions about downwind sailing, and many people have submitted their own videos, so I thought I'd give some example of some top end sailing. Chris is one of the best downwind, and yeah, I'll give you some reasons why. I believe this venue here is Palma, so Palma's got a pretty good swell. One of the first things we look at before getting into this is what's the relationship between boat speed and wave speed. So essentially boat speed would be the wind, how much the wind can propel the boat absent of waves. And the reason why is is it a condition where it's hard to catch waves? Is it a condition where you're going the same speed as waves and your objective is to stay surfing in them? Or is it a condition where you're faster than waves, you're potentially faster than waves, and you're looking for places to overtake and using overtaking techniques? So this is a surfing condition where you're the similar speed as the waves, and the waves are actually quite fast. So at times you have to use quite a lot of angle in order just to catch and stay in the waves. But we'll still call it surfing because he doesn't fall off of waves. And in marginal surfing, you would see very, very often waves would be rolling under them, and it would be hard to get in. But you can see the technique that he has to deploy in order to stay on them. So let's cruise through it. So first thing you notice is he's using a lot of by the lee. So this by the lee technique during surfing condition is very common, and we need it in order to sometimes stay in waves or just to catch waves. So he's not going square to waves, though going square to waves is his objective. He's looking to square up, get enough speed, catch a big enough wave, and then actually go down the course more and stay in those waves as long as possible. But sometimes it's hard because the waves are moving quite fast. So he needs to use rig load, which is sailing more by the lee. So here's an opportunity to go with the wave direction to the broad reach. And that's more down the course, down the course, down the course. And then quick bear away by the lee. So let's just look at that. So first thing is, a lot of people think that the bear away by the lee is like a slow bear away. Rarely is it a good thing to go slow to by the lee, because every direction in between this broad reach and by the lee has no rig load. So it's a risky area to sail through slow. Basically, ideally, you'd want to come off of this broad reach or kind of dead downwind and bear off quickly by the lee so that you can start again with lots of rig load to make sure you can stay in that wave or catch another wave. So you can see how fast he goes from broad reach, and that was a lot of actual rudder. So he did have windward heel to help initiate it, like a pull back with the body, but he used his rudder here to arrive by the lee. He's got windward heel grabbing the rail, and as you can imagine, we've talked about this a lot. In order to create that speed by the lee, you have to add body weight to leeward. So you'll see him press into it. So his body now comes over his arm, which is grabbing the rail, and he'll press. His knee is down on the bottom, his butt is off the deck, and that gives his propulsion. You can also see by the shape of the sail how it's flicking open, and that just shows how much power is in the sail from that maneuver. So using your body when you're deep by the lee is really important. We'll just go over that one again. Slow motion. So he's by the lee, you can see his sail wide open, the leech wide open, and he's pressing into it, right? It's powering up the sail, and then he's taking that to wave direction. So it's really, in this condition, it's not about wasting time down the middle. You want to get to by the lee quick, bear off fast, and press early. So here he goes. He's by the lee, and he's having to go into the wave behind because he missed one. And now he's pressing the body weight to leeward, hard by the lee, really hard by the lee, and waiting for the right opportunity to square up to that wave. So he presses even harder. See the knee down, so his body weight is literally all over the leeward side of the boat. And then he squares up to that wave. So that was all from sailing by the lee with the press. He was able to catch that wave. And now he wants to stay on it as long as possible. But sometimes you start to get kind of like sucked up the back of it and you start to fall off the wave. So you do your quick bear away again by the lee, right? And that gives you your rig load again. Hard by the lee, really fast bear away with a quick press. And going again with wave direction. Hard by the lee again. See how much rudder he used there? Just go back real quick. So a couple things. He's dead downwind. He knows he needs to get that rig load again. Windward heels on. That was his tiller hand moving from the rail. He's actually steering into it aggressively, okay? And he's pressing at the exact same time into the leeward side of the boat. And that's ensuring that he stays kind of planing surfing, right? If he didn't do that, you'd fall off that wave. Okay, here you're just trying to stay on a wave, more downwind, more downwind. Okay, another small turn off the lee. Now he's with wave direction, just trying to soak it down as much as possible. And again, another fast bear away, windward heel pressing, 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 pressing. He's still pretty hard by the lee. Turn towards wave direction. Hard by the lee, towards wave direction. Okay, now he's gonna run out a little bit more on the broad reach. So it's a very, very low broad reach, if not completely downwind, where he's on a perfect wave, a really fast wave, steep enough that he can keep surfing, and that is always what you want to do. But the longer you stay there, the more likely you are to have a wave roll under you. So you can see he's kind of using small body movements and little sheet pumps to stay on it. Here we go. He's still on the same wave, making his way down the course. That's ideal. It doesn't happen all the time, but that's what you're basically waiting for. And as soon as that runs out, which it eventually will, yeah, now he goes back to by the lee quick. So back to by the lee. Hard, hard, hard. He's still on the same wave, still on the same wave. And here we go. So he's one more press by the lee here, and he might come back up to wave direction. That's it. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that little debrief. Yeah, Chris is really fast downwind. Obviously uses a lot of kinetics. But I think it's a good example of just how sometimes you have to use these hotter angles just to stay surfing. And yeah, there's definitely conditions where you don't want to use the hot angles because it's easier to surf. But in this particular one, these swells are quite big. And yeah, having a really comfortable extreme body position, so that press to leeward side with your butt off the deck and hot enough by the lee. And then the other thing being the fast bearaways to arrive by the lee early and start your generating your power in the sail and boat speed so that you can get back on the wave or at least square up soon enough. So good. Hope you enjoyed, and look forward to your comments.